Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Bali here in Indonesia. So one of the last videos that I uploaded on the channel, which was already actually quite a while ago because I don't upload many, I shared some information about the meaning of the symbology of the traditional Balinese dress, of the traditional Balinese attire. And while this might be hopefully interesting for a visitor that comes to Bali and is interested in a little aspect of Balinese culture, I rather used it as a metaphor to say a story that can perhaps be of inspiration or insight for us Westerners or non-Balinese people living now in the 21st century. Now, as we all know, Bali nowadays is one of the most popular tourist destinations in the world. As being a tropical island, is probably the most popular tourist destination in the world. But the history of tourism in Bali is actually extremely interesting. And it all began, we could say, in the decade of the 1930s. Now, many interesting characters used to come to Bali in the 1930s. Just to name one, whom everybody knows, Charlie Chaplin, who came here in the 1930s, and many other interesting characters. Among them, a person who spent here quite some time was Margaret Mead, the mother of anthropology, and her husband, Gregory Bateson. They actually spent quite a bit of time here in Bali, and specifically most of the time they spent in this village where I am now, in the village of Batuan. Wonderful village, one of my favorites, and behind me you can see the Batuan temple, and it is one of the oldest temples in Bali, reason why you can see many tourists going in and out. But it is another aspect of Bali that I would like to discuss, also reconnecting back to the previous video about the Balinese dress and maybe future videos that I'm planning to film, for example, about Balinese offerings, right? I always like to film these stories in such a way that can be somehow relevant for our lives. And so Bali, every single village in Bali is a unique and individual entity. So ultimately, Bali is more than the sum of its parts, than the sum of all these individual entities, where each one has its own unique character and interpretation of the traditions. Reason why, if you are a person like Margaret Mead, an anthropologist, Bali back in those days was already known to be an anthropological nightmare, because you can literally spend months or years living in one village and researching about tradition, writing everything down, all the meanings, all the symbologies, all the interpretations, all the views that they have in that specific village about, you know, all the different aspects of Balinese life. And then you just move to the next village, and the way they see things, the way their worldview and their interpretation of the traditions might be completely different. Sometimes it might be even opposite. So this is something that I wanted to say today before perhaps filming the next video. So it is not important, I guess, to be that precise, yeah, sometimes, but to understand the essence. And so for the rest of the day today, instead, I would like to take you on a little, just not to cut the video and end it like this, I'd like to take you on a little tour in some village not too far from here, and we're gonna see something interesting. But before, maybe let's go for a drink, let's go for a coconut. No matter where you are in Bali, wherever you go, you always end up in the middle of some ceremony. This is the beauty of Bali. So when in Bali, you are in the surroundings of Ubud, very often in the rice fields, you can see these white birds, these white little cranes, sort of like. In English, they're called herons. In Bali, they call them kokokan. And so we are now going to Desa Kokokan. Desa in Indonesian means village. So the village of herons. In the late afternoon, at around sunset time, all these cranes, all these herons, they come back from all the rice fields where they go to in the morning to, follow the farmers, to eat some worms. And they come back home to this village. It's a very unique village, full of these birds. And now I'll show it to you. I think it's fascinating. Look at these herons. I think it's fascinating the way they go around and they pick up all the, all the little branches, all the sticks, and then they build their nests. And if you look on the road, you see there's shit everywhere. This is really the village of the kokokans, the village of the herons. Look how many. They're all over the place. Look at that one. I like many of them. You see, look, many of them, they have this funny hair that stands up. So they have this hair like this. Look at the hair. Like a punk bird. Look, all the nests. You see? All the nests of the birds. You see all the nests? Wow. And in this village, they also made this wonderful spot for watching the herons. Let's go and take a look. I like the funny ones with the hair like this. So from here you can see the herons better. Come take a look. You can see the nests. Look. You can see them up close. It's fantastic. Look at them. You can see all the families together. The moms with their eggs. There is a bird clinic here as well. Take a look. They are taking care of this heron who's been injured in the leg and on one wing.